Now, traditionally, every Lamborghini has been named after a famous fighting bull, and this one is no different. It's the angriest of them all, the Lamborghini Aventador Super Veloce. And today, our bullfighting ring is this, the Barcelona Grand Prix circuit. So let's go toe-to-toe with this thing and see who comes out on top. The SV is the most extreme expression of the already outrageous Aventador. Now, Super Veloce literally translates from Italian to mean very fast, and it isn't lying. Now, this is just the fourth time Lamborghini has used the Super Veloce badge on any of its sports cars. Its predecessors, the Miura, the Diablo and the Murcielago, have all followed a pretty similar formula. A little bit more hardcore than even the most hardcore Aventador. To do that, this car has a number of unique features above and beyond that V12 powered mega machine. Firstly, its razor sharp body has been given a carbon fibre makeover with more aggressive styling at the front and rear, while its cabin has been stripped of some luxuries that all up help trim its curb weight down by 50 kilograms. Secondly, its 6.5 litre naturally aspirated V12 has been massaged with tweaks to the inlet manifold and variable valve timing system that increases its rev limit to a sky-high 8,500 RPM. In combination with a new lightweight exhaust that features 4 cannon-sized tailpipes, power has been increased to 552 kilowatts. Needless to say, fuel economy is irrelevant in a car like this, but there are other numbers that are hugely important, like the fact it can accelerate from 0 to 100 k's an hour in just 2.8 seconds, and reach a top speed of 350 k's an hour. The 7-speed semi-automatic transmission has also been recalibrated for even faster gear changes, the all-wheel drive system has been tweaked for better torque distribution, and the SV features a dynamic steering rack with continuously variable ratio for sharper response. And the lightweight Centerlock alloys are wrapped in sticky Pirelli P0 tyres, specially developed for the Aventador SV. And all up, it makes for an extreme version of what is already an extreme supercar. Its everyday usability is of course compromised by the fact that it is pretty much a race car for the road. So vision isn't great, you're certainly sitting in some pretty tight bucket seats, and the thing rides with a very, very sharp nature to it. But it now features magnetic dampers in there, so even in its most basic setting, strada, which is for Italians for street, it actually rides pretty well, soaking up most of the imperfections of this road. But this car is all about going fast, and going very, very fast in fact. So let's take it for a lap around the Barcelona circuit and see how it really performs. Alright, so here's a lap around the Barcelona circuit. If you can actually hear me, that's 8,500 revs, 250, 260. Into the first corner, she's a bit squirrely under brakes. This super fast, super long third turn, she just loses a bit of the front, and you get back on it and drive it out through the throttle. Fourth, hard on the carbon ceramic brakes, into this little hairpin, short shift into third, drive it out. Another downhill hairpin, the front runs wide and you just got to drive it out. And then this change of direction here. This car is fantastic through here. And the gear changes are just, they thump in your back literally. Out of the fast thing, onto the back straight. 8,500 again, up to fifth. back down to second. A little bit of oversteer. Tuck the nose into this thing, use the throttle to drive it. And then this tricky downhill section. Back to second for this flip-flop. And then onto the straight. Again, drive it. This thing is just amazing. Listen to the engine, 6.3 litres of V12 just howling. Tyres screaming. Oh, this car is phenomenal. You can just drive it on the throttle. It's got so much lateral grip. Alright, now that things have calmed down a little bit, this car is absolutely phenomenal. This thing is a man's car. I don't mean to sound sexist, but to drive this thing and to get the best of it, you certainly need some cojones and some skill. But in terms of where it was with the Murcielago and the Diablo before it, the Aventador is a much more forgiving car to drive. It is simply staggering just the amount of grip it has and how adjustable it is on the throttle. This car in particular, the SV, has a number of unique changes to it. Not only does it have the big wings on the outside of it that help generate 170% more downforce than the standard Aventador, seriously, this thing is awesome. Just as outrageous as how it looks and how it drives is the SV's eye-watering price tag. Just a handful of cars have been earmarked for Australia, each with a starting price of $882,000 plus on-road costs. There is no doubt the Aventador will certainly turn heads cruising the boulevards, but to truly experience this raging bull, it really needs to be tamed on a racetrack. Well, who won this bullfight? Well, certainly I'm not bleeding and this car is still in one piece. It is an absolutely phenomenal piece of machinery, and I'm going to call this one a draw.